Hi, I'm Kyle Deering. Welcome to the webinar today, guys. I'm the Senior Sales Engineer here at Infusionsoft. I've got prepared a wide variety of things within Infusionsoft. So this should fit pretty much any type of business that's talking to us, right? We service all sorts of different types. I've worked personally with dog walking companies, financial services, real estate agents. I've worked with entrepreneurs and solopreneurs who sell ebooks online and everything. And so from here, we're going to show you a brief overview of Infusionsoft. So one of the things I want to focus on is that Infusionsoft is extremely versatile depending on what type of industry you are in, whether you sell products online or whether you sell products over the phone or you sell services over the phone. Whatever it might be, Infusionsoft is going to be able to help you not only grow your sales, but save time and make sure that you have everything that you can on an automated basis, because the goal is obviously to be living on a beach and collecting money. So one of the things we're going to be focusing on, as you can see here on my screen, is our dashboard. And I've got a bunch of different tabs up here that you can see, kind of laying out what the agenda is going to be for today. Obviously, everything we're going over is going to be in an overview fashion. If there's any additional questions, this is where you're really going to want to call your sales rep. They're going to be able to fix any of those questions you might have and then help you come on board. As we can see within the dashboard, this is really where you're going to be able to, when you log in, see everything that pertains to your specific role. Now, that might be CEO, that might be admin, whatever it might be, sales rep. We're going to be able to customize these dashboards. They're all drag and drop builder style, as you see me just dragging and dropping, right? Pretty much what I like to say about the dashboard is that it does three things for me. Number one, it tells me where my leads are at. So if I'm a sales rep, obviously it's going to want to show me where my leads are at so that way I can work with my different lists. And this is all customizable as far as what stages you have and everything. As well as I want to see how much money I'm making, right? Being able to track what my lead sources are giving me, like this marketing ROI report, right? I want to see what revenues are being generated from my marketing department. I also want to see what things I need to do. So whether that be in an admin status or whether it be as a sales rep, I can see different tasks that are assigned to me. So this can be for workflow management, this can be for sales pipeline, a lot of different uses along that. The dashboard obviously is where we're going to be able to see all of the reporting that we need to. Basically, we like to set it up to where all you have to do is log into the dashboard, see what you need to do for the day, and get on moving forward. So kind of going through how we would set up an Infusionsoft application, right? First things first, we're going to want to import our contacts or different products or import from other systems we're using or not using, whether that be from Excel or other CRMs that we might have. Importing our contacts is extremely simple, where we can easily grab items we want, click go, and then make sure we import our CSV file. Taking a look at contacts here, we have a lot of different ways that we can maneuver or we can search through our contacts and things that we can do within the CRM. So I know a lot of companies out there might use things like opportunities and companies, all very similar, just different levels. But we'll focus today on the contacts. As we can see within the contact search here, this is really where we're going to be able to nail down what I'm searching for. Right? So let's say, for example, I've got some saved searches right here in the top right, like customers, my leads, my hot list. We can go and pull the criteria that we want through this contact search builder with custom fields. And those custom fields can contain drop downs, drill downs, date fields that you can then customize the CRM to fit your specific need. Once I've created that search, we'll go to the customer search here. It then allows me to have a complete view of these contacts. And one of the cool things about Infusionsoft's customizable searches is that it's going to be dynamic. Any search that I make, let's say for example customers, that I then bring on a new customer into is going to automatically update to, let's say for example 99. Right now we're at 98. That way I can have it to where I'm extremely organized, which is one of our main priorities, right? From these contact searches, I'm going to have a couple different views. Some people actually like the grid view better. This is mostly people that are coming from like Excel, where I can see a different grid on where my contacts are at. I can then sort by lead score or whatever. All these are all customizable to then report whatever fields you need right here on front. So as you can see right here, edit criteria / columns. That'll be where I can add more columns here from whatever fields I want. Most business owners that I encounter typically use anywhere between 15 and 20 fields on a daily basis. Obviously, if you have more, you can add more. But that's where we can customize this faceplate view to show any of those fields that we might need. As you can see, this also is inline editable. So if I want to change anything right here from the front, I can also click on the name here and get led into the big contact view, what I call it. As you can see from the interactive view, which is this view here, we have the ability to do things like quickly adding notes right to the contact record or seeing all the notes. I can see tasks, appointments. I can even see emails, right? And what emails they've opened or unopened. So that way, if I'm searching through my contacts, I'm going to have a very quick view of what's going on with that contact. Now, like I said, when you click on that name, it leads me over here to this large view or big view or whatever you want to call it, in-depth view, where you can have all the standard CRM tabs here with custom fields, with different field values, as well as being able to then go search things like I want to have a list of opportunities that might be there, or orders, or web profile, a file box to house any files that we might need to. This is a basic overview of a contact record, everything that pertains to a contact record. And obviously we can have things customized to whatever you require. The next thing is, obviously when we have our contacts here, we're going to want to do actions with them. So as you can see right here on this top left button, actions, this is where we can do things like if I need to export this list and send it to somebody, if I need to send a broadcast, which I'll show you here in a second how to do, or add them to a campaign, right? I can update these contacts as a main list right from here without having to click around the CRM a lot to be able to enable an automation. Showing you a broadcast would be as easy as I grab my list, I click send a broadcast, and then I begin to compose my email. So as you can see right here, we have a email where I can change the subject line and even edit the email body. And we'll show you our email builder right here. So as you can see, this is all just a drag and drop builder that I can create the email that I want with different columns. Obviously, we have here merge fields that allow to merge in any information from the contact record to then appear on the email. So that way, anyone that's getting the email doesn't get like that hi friend or hola amigo or whatever you want to call it. They're actually going to get their first name. That creates personalization. And you can add even more fields than that to create even more personalization. So that way when they get your emails, they're actually going to open them because it's for them. And it sounds very specific. And if you want to have it to where it's just a plain text, so it looks like it's coming from your iPhone or your Android phone, you can then customize it to do that, right? That's the email builder there. One of the main things I do want to focus on is going to be our campaign builder. That's really where we're going to create a lot of the automation behind Infusionsoft. And I've actually kind of built out a big campaign here. We're going to take it step by step. And as you can see, it looks like just kind of a workflow here. So if you can kind of mind map out what you want to have happen, you can create a campaign. So one of the misconceptions we have about the campaign builder is most people think, okay, campaign builder must be a marketing campaign, right? Our campaign builder is versatile enough not only to handle a marketing campaign, but it's also going to be able to handle workflows, sales pipeline, and anything on the internal side that we can create. So marketing is all external. What am I communicating to my prospects? Workflow is more internal. What's happening interdepartmentally or between two people or amongst myself, right? If I sell a product, I need to send that product out myself. There's going to be a lot of things that we can customize within the campaign builder. So as you can see, we have these two little types of widgets here. We have these little circle guys, and we also have the rectangular ones, right? So the circle guys are all what we call goals. A goal could be something as simple as like a web form on somebody's site. And I've actually pulled up a site right here called the Rocket Company. As you can see, the Rocket Company has a web form where I can fill out really easily, right? And I've actually built one out as well for what I call web capture. So when I go to web capture here and I fill out this form, I put my name in here, Kyle Deering, and I've got my email right there. If I click send my free report, right, and I fill that out, the campaign has been designed. If I double click inside this first autoresponder here, or sequence, it's going to tag me. And if I double click in there, I can see what I'm going to be tagged as. New prospect, right? As soon as I have that new prospect tag, it's going to send me an email and then create a task for somebody internal to call me, right? So this campaign's kind of been done for like a service-based phone call or whether I'm selling a product on the phone to where it's going to create a task for a sales rep to then do something with me, right? Call me or whatever it requires. As you can see, the next thing is an internal form. And I actually just got that email right here when I filled that out. So Danny, business owner, just said that here's the download I requested. And now I can go back and see what tasks I have. And we'll see that here in a second. Once I've gotten that task to make that phone call, right, here's an internal form. Internal forms are useful because a lot of times when you're calling your prospects, you're asking the same questions, right? Just to gauge, what time or what their buying schedule is, whether they're going to be buying now or in 6 months, to make sure that they're qualified for your product, whether that be for a budget constraint or making sure that they're even in the right industry for you. Really kind of coming down and making sure that this is going to be a good prospect for you so you know not to waste your time. And as you can see from that internal form, I've actually branched it out. So we've branched it out to a qualified, or if someone makes a purchase, right? If someone that's not qualified, or like an LTN, I call that long-term nurture, right? Where we can actually nurture them over a series of emails, whether that be, and if I double click in here, we can actually see, send them an email saying, hey, thanks for your time, wait 3 days, maybe send another educational email. So let's say, for example, someone says, I'm not ready to buy for 6 months. You could have 6 months of emails, maybe one every month, educating them about your product. So that way, when they do come back, you've got to answer a couple of other last questions, and they might be ready to go because you've been educating them without having to constantly call them. Benefit of that is that not only do they get to learn on their own time, but also when they come back, there's going to be less friction there. It's not going to be like rekindling the relationship. It'll be more of just kind of going from where you already have taken it. As well as the last thing here is if, let's say, for example, we get them on the phone, we can't get a hold of them, right? We leave a voice. We want to make sure that things aren't falling through the cracks. Everyone's pretty much guilty at one point or another of writing down on a sticky note, putting the sticky note on my desk to call this person back and then getting that thrown out or forgetting or erasing over it or whatever it might be. People falling through the cracks is a huge problem because these are prospects and people that might get the wrong impression and think this person doesn't really care about me. I'm going to go buy or use my dollars elsewhere, right? We want to make sure we limit that to 0. As well as we can see right here, if someone is qualified or makes a purchase, we might have it to where they're automatically added as a new customer. And like I showed you earlier, get it into our new customer list or whatever we want to call it. And I've actually kind of created this cool little campaign that'll show you what we can even do once someone already is a customer. So not only is Infusionsoft designed for capturing leads and converting those leads, but also for an entire life cycle of a customer, which might be from lead to sale to referral, which is exactly what we want, right? Whether that be from word of mouth or actually getting a referral from one of our customers. So as you can see right here, once we have a new customer, I've set this campaign up to then give them a welcome email, right? And then maybe 7 days later, a survey of the product. Give them some time to test out the product or the service or get their feedback on it. Benefit of that is that not only will you be able to see, if you have happy customers and ask them for referral, but if you don't have happy customers, and some customers might have gotten a miscommunication or something went wrong with their sales rep, or there's a whole variety of different reasons why someone might not be happy, we want to make sure that we ask for the forgiveness or make sure that they are happy, right? Or find out what the problem was, because it could be a personnel problem, it could be a process problem, and the more we can limit that, the better the customer experience will be. That way, we have more happy customers that we can send referral forms to, right? And these can be simple web forms that we create within Infusionsoft to capture another name, to then send them a thank you, and then maybe give a call to that person, starting the campaign over from the beginning with that new lead. That way we have Infusionsoft as one of our best employees working overtime 24 hours a day, getting more leads for us, converting the ones that we already have, and then creating a better customer experience, which is a huge buzzword right now in marketing, because if we can create a better customer experience, they're going to be more prone to give us the things we want, which is their service, their money, and their friends, right? And that way we can provide a better service for our clients, get better reviews, either that from Facebook, Yelp, or whatever it might be. So that way we can build ourselves as a brand. As soon as we've created this campaign here, really it comes down to using it, right? So as I told you here earlier, right, we get those automated tasks. And as you can see on my day here, that call or that form that I just filled out automatically gave me that task. So I click it, and it automatically pops up the person that filled out the form, which was me, right? I see, okay, I have a new lead, hooray, I got to give them a call, or I've got to fill out information on them, or I've got to email them, whatever it requires. I'm going to be able to see all that information right here. I can actually see the email he's received, right? Okay, what he's opened or unopened. I'm going to be able to check and make sure that when I'm filling out that form, right, go click on this button here, fill out the Kyle's internal form, and then from there be able to then say, okay, what happened, right? Get their phone number or outcome. What was the outcome? Did we schedule an appointment? Are they not qualified? Whatever it might be, right here from my day, right, I'm going to be able to call through those prospects, and I can see there's more prospects here that I can follow up with. Once I get done with them, I click that it's done, and I can move them through the campaign just by filling out those forms, as you saw. Right? When Kyle's internal form was created, boom, it passes them through and begins that process. Other tasks might be assigned to me, and that way I can see everything along there. So using the software comes down to, number one, building out the campaign, right, or whatever automation that we want. Number two, then using our My Day to then funnel through those different tasks. And then number three, to then use our dashboard to have the reports necessary to then see things like where my leads are at. Right? 631 people came to my website and filled out the form. 100 have been contacted. 25 have set appointments. 14 are in long-term nurture. Creating a funnel, so that way you have a clear-cut view of what stages might be failing, right? Being able to then improve your processes, as well as see things like where our reps aren't converting, right? We can see and then track where our leads are at, so that way no one gets lost in the cracks, right? That comes down to now reporting. Reporting can be done on various levels. Number one, you have reports like your CRM reports. This is where I can pull like sales reports for if we have individual reps using Infusionsoft, right? I can see things like call history of who's making the most calls, who's closing the most deals, revenue forecasting, right? For if you're on a business to business or you sell products to larger quantities, you can have a report designed to show you all of that. Number two would be then the marketing reports, right? Where I can track things like who's opening my broadcasts, what marketing medium is performing for me. So that way you have not only a CRM to help you organize your contacts, but then a marketing piece for marketing automation all in one. So that way, as a sales rep, I can see what's going on with marketing, and marketing can see what's going on with sales. So that way you can make better decisions as a company to then increase your revenues, right? Or get organized, or whatever your purpose might be. So as selling a service or selling a product goes, we can set up all of that with Infusionsoft, as well as if you sell online, we even have an e-commerce piece. And that's where we can click right here and see within the e-commerce, we have lots of different ways of creating our e-commerce to increase our revenues. And I've actually built out a campaign here we'll check out in a second. But as far as setting up our e-commerce, it goes with importing our products just like we would import our contacts, creating a shopping cart theme. And I've actually pulled up the theme from the Rocket Company, so you'll actually like this, where I can click on the Rocket Company's site, click on store, right, and it automatically pulls up their cart. Now, as you notice, it looked exactly the same. So if I funnel back and forth, you'll actually see the design is the exact same. You can customize Infusionsoft shopping cart to look just like your site, so that way the customer journey is all synchronous. I'm not going to have to go outside of my site and have a different design and make it to where it's kind of uglier than what my site looks like because you might have invested a lot of time and money into your site. You can customize it so that way it looks like a singular page. As soon as I click on a certain product there, I'm going to be able to customize that by, they've got it customized into different like coaching and products, different segments here. Once I click on the product there, it's going to lead me to a standard page where I can then have description on that product. I can have the ability to pay for that product with a shopping cart. I just added my cart here and get led right into adding my information and paying for the product, right? With credit card or PayPal or whatever means you guys pay with online. Once I've created that e-commerce store, we definitely want to use the power of the campaign builder to then create a marketing flow for that. As you see right here, I've actually built that out. So let's say, for example, you have the ability to continue capturing people online, giving them autoresponders about products, but instead of going to this internal form here where you're making a phone call, we're really pushing them to purchase that product right up here. So we can say, okay, well, let's say we want to have it to where they purchase product A. Product A is our main performer. Maybe that's our gateway product. We would get them in the door with something small. We then want to create a way for we can upsell them. Let's say, for example, the maximum revenue we can get is if they buy product A and then they upsell to product B. I call upserving, right? We're giving our products to service them. You have it to where we can then upsell them to product B, but what happens if they've already bought product B? I don't want to pitch them the same thing they've already bought. So as you can see, with the power of our decision diamond here, this guy's going to be able to say, hey, they've already purchased product B, send them to product C, and so forth. So we can create a customizable customer experience. That way we're not doing spray and pray mentality, which is where we just send out an email and hope people buy our stuff. So within Infusionsoft, we can really create a customer lifecycle or a customer experience that is very deliberate. With Infusionsoft, you're going to be able to have the ability not only to create an e-commerce, and I'll kind of go back to my dashboard to show you everything we've got here, be able to have a customizable e-commerce, be able to create a marketing campaign or email broadcast to your lists, have a CRM, and have a task manager system all in one. So that way you're not having to connect a bunch of different softwares together, which a lot of our customers are coming to us for because they're using 3 or 4 different softwares and they're having to plug and play a ton of different things that are main components of their system and then have it to where it's not as efficient as it could be. 10 people know really well this software, 10 people know this software. There's not a lot of interdepartmental communication, or if someone's a solopreneur and they're using a bunch of softwares, it's really cumbersome to have to learn 3 softwares or 4 softwares, as well as communicate that information between the two, right? So we try to be as all-in-one as possible, so that way you can not only sell your products online, sell your products over the phone, whether you be a business-to-business, business-to-consumer, we're going to be able to fit all of that to where you're all in one product and you only have to know one. So from seeing everything within Infusionsoft, one of the things I do want to touch on is how dedicated we are to our small business owners that come to us. One of the things that we provide for an investment is what we call the Kickstart Process. This is, let's say, for example, we get your account set up today. You're going to be getting an email and then schedule with one of our success consultants. This consultant's purpose is to do 3 things. Number 1, to help you import your current products or your current contacts, you're coming from a different system. Number 2, help you create an email broadcast. So we have a ton of different templates that we create for you, or we can create with you, or you can import right into your system. Even sometimes you can import the emails you're currently using. Number 3, they're there to help you create your first campaign. So as we saw within the campaign builder, some of those can be designed for a specific type of business. And so that consultant will be there to help you, walk you through, and help you train yourself on that. So a lot of it will be done with you and for you on getting onboarded, because we are so dedicated to keeping our small business owners successful with Infusionsoft because we have no contracts here. We don't make you pay a year up front or anything like that. We really want to make sure that you can have the help you need up front with tech support, webinars every day, tons of email broadcasts you can download, email templates and campaign templates you can download. So if you have any questions on that, please contact your sales rep. They're dedicated there to help you answer any last final questions. And we really want to thank you guys for coming out. Thanks for joining us today with our webinar. We really hope you answered a lot of your questions. For joining us, you actually get special incentive pricing on your Kickstart. So call your sales rep if you have any questions.